Hi there, welcome to my views on news stories. Firstly, Somalia has made a new offer to the Ethiopian government. Ethiopia and Somalia are in talks about sea access issue. Ethiopia wants access to sea through Somalia, sustainable access. It wants access to a port in the form of lease agreement for a few decades. Somalia Ethiopia talks ongoing. Somalia offered Hobyo port to Ethiopia last year, but reportedly another port is being offered. Talks ongoing. Which port? Is this port a better option for Ethiopia than Hobyo or than Berbera of Somaliland? Second, viewers, Ethiopian military just a few minutes ago issued another statement about crushing Fano fighters, about repelling Operation Unity launched by Fano fighters. Military made some claims. We will try to analyze these claims. Let's start with firstly, know that Ethiopia Somalia talks are being mediated by Turkey. Ethiopia wants access to sea, sustainable access to sea. It tried to convince Eritrea to give this access. Eritrea did not agree. Then it signed MOU with Somaliland to gain access to Somaliland. The MOU was opposed by Somalia. MOU could not be implemented. Now Ethiopia is in talks with Somalia to gain access to sea. Last year, Somalia offered Hobyo port to Ethiopia, reportedly, which is not a fully developed port, by the way, and remove. It's far away from Ethiopian border, over 300 kilometers away from the border. Roads infrastructure from Ethiopian territory to Hobyo not very developed as well, and then there are security issues too. Ethiopia did not say yes or no to the offer of Hobyo port from Somalia. Now, reportedly, another port, part of another port, is being offered to Ethiopia. Hassan Sheikh government is building a port close to its main port, which is Mogadishu port. Around 50 kilometers away from Mogadishu is this new port, which is under construction. I think it will be functional next year. The existing Mogadishu port will continue as well. New port will also be functional next year. Reportedly, Somalia is offering parts of the existing Mogadishu port to Ethiopia. Ethiopia can work on it. It can expand the existing Mogadishu port, renovate it, while Somalia will mainly use the new port, which is not far away, 40, 50 kilometers away from this old port. The offer is being considered. No decision has been made so far. Now, the Mogadishu port is also situated on the Indian Ocean. It's not towards Gulf of Aden. It's not close to Red Sea. Rather, it's further away from Red Sea if you compare it with Hobyo port. Hobyo is also on the Indian Ocean side, but Mogadishu port is more accessible from Ethiopia in terms of roads infrastructure. From Ethiopian border to Mogadishu, roads are available which can be used by the Ethiopian government for its imports and exports. But from Ethiopian border to Hobyo port, roads need to be built in some areas. So this offer is being considered by the Ethiopian government. Let's see. Al-Shabaab is also operating in Middle Shabelle, by the way. Travel from Ethiopian border to Hobyo to Mogadishu isn't going to be safe. How will Ethiopia ensure the safety of this 300, 400 kilometer route? And will Ethiopia agree to have just a part of Mogadishu port. Let's see, talks ongoing, technical talks ongoing, too early to say, but the two sides are trying to reach some sort of solution. Egypt, Eritrea, meanwhile, issuing statements opposing sea access for Ethiopia. They're mainly talking about Red Sea. They're saying that Ethiopian presence or any non-littoral country's presence on Red Sea is unacceptable. Mogadishu and Hobyo both are nowhere near Red Sea. Will Ethiopian access to Mogadishu port, Hobyo port be acceptable to Egypt, to Eritrea? That remains to be seen. So far, talks ongoing between Ethiopia and Somalia. Second, Ethiopian military issued another statement just a few minutes ago, just 30 minutes ago. There's a second statement by the military about the situation in the Amhara region. A few days ago, ENDF issued a statement on its social media page. It accused General Migbehale of Tigray of backing, planning Fano's attacks on the government security forces. In that statement, military claimed that it had repelled the attack by Fano, the offensive by Fano, and over 500 Fano fighters had been injured and killed, and weapons had been captured too, and that the offensive had been fully repelled. Military made big claims. Fano groups making big claims too. Military spoke again today. It issued a new statement. Now, the military claims that all Gujam zones have been clear, north, east, west, etc. South Gondar clear too. In all zones of Gujam and South Gondar, military has cleared the area, killing and injuring over 200 Fano fighters. In the previous statement, military claimed to have killed and injured over 500 Fano fighters. In this statement, over 200 Fano fighters. Military has shared some pictures of weapons allegedly captured from Fano fighters. And military claimed that the attack by Fano groups has been completely repelled. Fano groups, on the other hand, say that they have completed first phase of their operation, and yes, fighting ongoing on some fronts, but mainly the operation has been completed, and no new operation has been launched so far. In coming days, part 2, phase 2 of this operation will be launched. Military claims as if it has put an end to the attack by Fano. It means we'll have to wait. If Fano fighters manage to start the second round of their operation and start attacking military targets, then military will have to explain that it claimed to have repelled Operation Unity, but Fano fighters are back in action. Fano groups are making big claims too. They claim today that in South Gondar, over 700 ENDF soldiers were killed in a battle between Fano and military. Both sides making tall claims. Amhara region is not accessible to neutral international media, to human rights organizations. No one has access there. No one really knows what is happening on the ground. That is why these claims are unverified on both sides. We're not saying the military is speaking the truth or Fano or telling lies. Both sides are exaggerating their gains and playing down their losses. But the new offensive by Fano seems to have disturbed military's plan. Military thought that maybe it would be able to withdraw from the region as Fano troops had gone silent, they had been weakened. The new offensive shows that military's withdrawal from the Amhara region is not possible, at least not possible in coming days or weeks. Though a few days ago, National Dialogue Commission chief asked for announcement of ceasefire by the Ethiopian government. But keeping in view Fano's new offensive, I don't think now Amhara government will announce unilateral ceasefire in the region. Thank you for watching.